Hello, folks. It's that time again for another random act of helpfulness. No, wait, that's not it. It's that time for another short video. All right. Um, all right. Let me collapse some of this stuff. Uh, Come back to that. Well, let me see if I can show you what I originally had for callbacks or event handling, I should say. I was originally just going to have the player like attach like an actual script, and it would actually see the script, and it would actually allow you to choose the script, and then it would actually detect the actual function, the appropriate function. If it for mouse enter, it would look for mouse enter, mouse leave, so forth and so forth. Uh, since then, I decided perhaps I will go just a little deeper into the actual event handling. It's not done yet, of course, but I just wanted to show you my progress so far. So, um, one approach I was thinking of is to actually still allowing users to click a button, let's say this plus, and it'll automatically detect, you know, the actual function names, and it will populate into mouse sensor, mouse lead, mouse this, mouse that, and whatever else is available. So that was that's gonna still be there to automatically detect stuff. But what you're not privy to yet is what it'll actually look like. So it won't look like this anymore. It'll actually have a little more detail. So let's begin. So we hit add input handler, and now you see this drop down, and of course you can actually delete this if you don't want it anymore. So mouse enter, mouse leave, and you can actually pick what you want to have instead of displaying gazillions of them. So you just add an entry, and then you just leave it. Add another entry and just set it to what you want, and then you only have two entries now to look at on screen. So it doesn't take up all the space if you want it. If you wanted to have an entry or not have an entry for each of these, you don't have to show them all. So I thought that was pretty neat, and of course moving them up and down, even though in this case it really does not matter which one gets called first or processed. But I like to. It happens sometimes that I don't know, you have a you for some reason you said, oh, I only need mouse up, because it's like a kind of like a click thing. So and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, I actually want a mouse down too. So it's like, oh, but I don't like I don't why is mouse up before mouse down? Mouse down should come first, right? It's like, oh well, might as well add this shift ability to shift things up or down. So it's available, even though it's not critical, to be honest. It's there, and it wasn't too difficult to add either. So win-win. Of course, you can choose the actual the click type for the mouse, and of course if it's an enter or leave or whatever, it doesn't do it. For mouse drag, I believe it does. Yeah, there it is. Key down. Let's look at some of the other ones. Key down, key up. Let me get rid of this. I might actually show a drop down or whatever pop up with a listing of all the different keys you can press. I'm not certain yet, but that's a possibility. And not only the actual the actual key, but the modifiers, things like Control Alt, and Shift. So maybe there'll be an extra space, as long as this should be enough room here. I'll try to make it as compact as I can. I mean, you can always resize it, right? But I wouldn't mind if it will look okay, if it was at the minimum width as well. Okay, moving on. Let's go back to, let's say, mouse enter, mouse leave, because it looks, I don't know, it looks okay. All right, so looking in here now, and each of these handlers can have multiple entries. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth, 5, whatever. And these you can also move up and down as well. So one can be at the end, and you can move them around. And these you might actually need to have in the correct position. And let's actually take a look at one of these to see what actually does. So what does one of these handling entries look like? Well, it wants a target. So let's give him a target. So let's say, actually no. Let's try to modify this button's text. Oh, so as soon as I dropped it in, it does a couple of things here. In this case, we see that it shrank this box. It removed the label called targets, and it replaced it with an actual, I guess, a listing of some sort. And it looks to me like it's a component listing on that particular I guess game object. So in this case we have game object transform. These are added. Well, game object I should say is added, is manually added. The transform is already present, as you can tell, transform. But game object isn't. But I just added it there. And of course there's what is this? Call function, get variable, set variable. So call function and functions. So this will have a listing of the functions. And what is this? This allows you to save the return the value itself and store it for use, most likely by these other entries. Ha ha ha! I gave it away, didn't I? Oh well. You were gonna find out what it does anyway, so who cares? Alright, so functions. So, is it a drop down? How does this look? Okay, I'm not gonna tell it. let's look at one of the cheaper versions, the early versions. So let's say let's do get, and let's for number 2, let's make this a call function, and then let's get rid of this for now and make the very last one set. So we're calling, and we're setting something. In this case, let's set the actual text components. Okay, that's all well and good, but how do we get stuff? Do we want to always save? All right, so let's try and get the text of something. I don't know. Let's get the text. I guess a variable. So what this does is, number 1. Actually, why don't I just right-click and rename that to get text. Ta-da! And number 2. I have no idea. Set text, maybe. Set text. Set the tag, I think. And this one, let's call this set text. Does it have to be uppercase, lowercase? Nope. I shouldn't have left clicked there. Alright. So call function. It's like, what the hell is this? It's it looks like a drop-down window, and what do you know? It actually is, and it actually gives you a listing of the available functions. So what exactly is happening here? I mean, it looks like it's color coded. I tried to color code it. This is not the colors that are gonna actually persist. This is just for testing purposes because they stand out a bit. I definitely don't like this pinkish color for the return variable, the return type. For the function, blue is kind of okay. Red for the arguments is all right. Oh, and if you see some of the types, they have NA. Those probably return stuff like vector3 and some other types that I'm not really handling at the moment. So I just put not applicable or not available, NA for short. So yeah, little by little I'll start actually adding support for some of those, like vector2, vector3, so forth, like the basics stuff at least. Not probably won't be able to get to the other stuff until much later. I don't know, however long it takes. So yeah, and then I select one, and as you can tell, it actually color codes it in the actual drop down. So clipping, blah blah blah, specs this, and of course the function parameters. If it didn't have actual parameters, then it won't show anything. But if it actually does have parameters, then it will show this section here below. So this is parameter 1, parameter 2, and so forth and so forth. So the return type, the parameter types, in this case NA for not available or not known or not handled or whatever, and the actual the parameter name itself. parameter type, parameter name, parameter type, parameter name. In this case, transform, and I'm debating whether to right now it's just a plain text box, whether to allow the user to type in like 000, and internally just turn that text into an actual transform, or do I get fancy and actually allow the user to actually input actual transform details in an actual separate row right under here. I haven't decided yet, but I'm leaning towards allowing the user to enter in stuff on their own, using this approach, where they can actually set the values like that, like so, like you do for the position or rotation or even scale. So you set this, but just this won't appear. It'll actually be a sort of maybe a drop down kind of a thing, like this arrow thing, possibly. So as soon as you click that, it expands or collapses, and then you'll see this XYZ thing, where I can actually enter in the actual details for the transform, and probably rect, for rectangles. Same thing for vector 3, vector 2, and so forth. So that's a possibility. So yeah, I mean that's neat, right? But that's like one part. I mean, I was thinking of allowing them to increment, add by, decrement, subtract, maybe multiply by, divide by, and then enter in like an actual integer or float or whatever. So even though it's saving it, or you're entering it as text, it will check, it'll parse it out or convert it or whatever to the appropriate, I guess, parameter type in this case. So yeah, just for convenience, it'll save it as text, and then from text you can convert it or parse it out to whatever you need. That's one option. The other thing I was thinking of doing, let me see if I can, what is this, return a string type. Is there anything that actually accepts a string? No, darn. Alright, let's see if I can find, okay, here we go. So this accepts a string. So instead of a custom value, actually for strings, it probably won't do anything for the other stuff. I would like to be able to append stuff to it. So I don't know if I'm gonna leave it like the actual text to say add by or append to or something. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, what I wanted to demonstrate is this here, set to, and then one of the existing entry return values. Return value from a previous entry. Oh, but I didn't put actually previous here somewhere. Maybe I should. So if I pick that, what'll happen is it'll try to read in the saved return value from a previous entry. So I have that selected, and I look at here, and what does it say? it gives me a listing of the saved values of other entries. So I see that getText has a return a save type of string. So it's gonna actually use this saved value from this get. In this case, it's a text value, and it's going to pass it in as an argument or parameter to this function, this find call, this method here. So that's great, right? And then not only that, but it itself is going to save its return value. So if I wanted to, I can actually use that return value in here. So this set tag. Oh, maybe I shouldn't call it set tag anymore since I changed it to find. So I'll just say find something. I don't know. So it's gonna find something, and then it's gonna come here, and we can actually set it to. Oh wait, that returns a transform. Darn. Oh, you're probably wondering, is like, why does this actually pop up an actual dialog that you can actually search stuff with? F-I-N-D. Oh, that's not a D. That's a D. But this doesn't. That's because I implemented this first because I was just playing around. So yeah, that's probably the reason. No, actually, that is the reason. I just haven't had the time. I haven't had a chance to update it yet. So I was originally contemplating the notion of kind of breaking up each of the functions, or in this case the variables, into like the first letters into sections, so you can find them easily like that. So yeah, that's that, right? It looks like I don't have an actual transform. Maybe. Oh, I know. If I do a call function on the transforms, then I can something like set. Let me do a trans. I need something that actually sets the transform, right? Ah. Get transform. Okay, that's supposed to clear the text, but it's not doing it yet. Oh well. Alright, well, what I was hoping to do is to use that transform return value and pass it into a function call. Something like that. Except you know what, this is fine. Who cares? So find something, get text, find something, and it returns a transform. You could always say find transform. So right click, find the transform, transform, and then here it still says that. Okay, so that's cool, right? So I mean, you can see the potential to this. It's kind of like very simplistic visual scripting. Yeah, I wouldn't even give it that much credit. It's just if you wanna like really break it down, it's call, get, and set, call, get, and set, and that's about it. With the ability to save the return value and to pass those return values, set it or pass it, you know, to actual function call or to set it to a variable. So if it actually returned an int, then it would actually it would set this int to the actual find trans. Well, this is not called find trans anymore. It's get count, child count. So yeah, I mean, I think it's better that actually it's instead of looking at the oops no instead of returning the actual function names in here, it's better to just you know, call it whatever you want, because you might have a certain approach to naming things. You know, it'll be easier. I mean, and you can shorten it, like get counts, and so it doesn't get really long. So just get count, and then you see the int, and then you use that, you know, as you know, to set the actual int value of whichever of these properties has an int. So something like that. And of course, yeah, this could come in handy. Let's say when let me see. If you mouse down, let's get rid of a whole bunch of these things. I don't need it. Okay, so in this case, if I wanted to use it for something really practical, let's say these events are being handled or caught by this cancel button, this cancel image. And what I want to do is I want to affect the text offsets. So it'll look like, let me click this. So the actual, the text itself is being offset. You know, when you actually click it, it'll offsets it down by 1 in each direction. Okay, you can't really tell too well, but it will like offset it. Oh, I forgot I didn't update this yet. Shoot. All right. Well, what else supposed to happen is it. Let me do it here, because I know this one works. So yeah, let's see, custom. Custom. All right. I guess I'll have to work on that. Let's put it back to expand. Well, you get the idea. So normally the offset is 0. And you're probably wondering, what did I just click? I just clicked the reset button. So since it's it's fairly thin. Oh, come on, it's not doing what I want. So reset. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to test out all the stuff on the text especially, because I kind of leaving that for the end. But yeah, the idea is to actually be able to set the offsets. So let's see, x offsets. I would set it to 1, and of course I would add another entry, and that same thing I would set the text set, and then x and y offsets, and set this to 1 as well. And of course that's mouse down, and then on mouse up it'll put it back. So yeah, you guessed it, it'll do the exact same thing. The very same stuff. Let me shrink this a little bit. So let's same thing. X. Oops, not game object. Dang it. So x offsets, set it back to what it originally was, which is 0, 0. So it doesn't shift it down or to the right. Oh, I did that already. And one more entry for text. Oh, dang it. Game object text vars x and y this time. Y offsets to 0. So that's what I always wanted to add, but you know, I thought it would be a lot easier to just call the one of these methods here that'll actually just allow you to code the rest of it. But if it's like something really simple, like setting an offset or of some sort or whatever, or changing whatever value, maybe you don't have to go through the hassle of having to do it from code. So yeah, that's my hope for this. Just to make it a little easier for users to actually handle like simple stuff like this. And then of course, if you really want to do anything more complex, then you'll have to I should say you don't have to. You could just instead of affecting the text, affecting yourself. So I'm gonna drag itself into the target, and I'm gonna look at the it'll actually have all the components that are attached. It'll have them listed here. So in this case, I want my control events, and this is mouse enter. So I will call the mouse enter on mouse enter. Why don't I just freaking type it in here so I don't have to search, scroll through the whole thing. So yeah, so I'll just call this function for you, and you're done. So it still has that feel. So it'll still call control on mouse enter, just like I intended here. Originally intended, I should say. But you can still accomplish the same thing, if you feel more comfortable, or you have a lot of different things that need to happen from code. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope this becomes pretty handy. And you guys have a great day. All right, catch you guys later. Au revoir. Bye bye.